The men's and women's team both have hopes to cut down the nets this week in Anaheim, but do they really have a chance? I brought in assistant sports editor Matt Moreno and former sports editor Tracy McDannald to try to analyze this upcoming week. Now, Matt, let's start with you and the men's team. In the beginning of the season, everyone predicted that Long Beach State would win Big West Conference. What happened?
Well, I think the problem was twofold. They had a lot of depth issues this year. I think they thought they had a lot more than what they actually ended up having this season. Coach Munson anticipated having a little bit more bench depth, and it just didn't pan out that way. And then I think the other thing was matter of just getting the other team's best shot. I mean, when you come in as that #1 team, you're going to be getting everyone's best shot night in and night out, and I think that's what happened this year.
Yeah, and just to add to the depth issues, I mean, you had a couple players hurt. Tristan Wilson never played for them. He was obviously supposed to be a big guard that was supposed to help Larry on the wing, and he just was never able to heal. And then a couple guys just didn't play to their potential.
Now, Tracy, throughout the whole season, we didn't win more than 2 games in a row. Describe how inconsistent they were throughout the season.
To win 3 games in a row, you have to have also some confidence, and they just were really never able to build any of that confidence. You go back to their preseason schedule. You know, they were playing some tough teams. People wonder, well, did that have an effect on them? Did it not? Because, I mean, you look at it, they hung really strong with Kentucky. They were right in that game with about 7 minutes to go. In the second half against Duke, they had a better showing than they did in the first half of that game. But when it came down to, the lesser opponents come Big West time, they just didn't play like they were supposed to.
Now, I know sometimes when I saw them play, some games they looked like they were unbeatable. Then other games they just played with no heart. Matt, why do you think they were so inconsistent throughout the whole season?
Well, that's a tough one. I guess it just comes with overthinking your opponent, maybe looking at the standings too much sometimes and thinking, well, these guys are at the top of the standings. We need to come out and give our best effort. And then taking a game like Cal Poly, when they played Cal Poly this year, and it was just, they were flat as could be. And I think, and Cal Poly came into the season, nobody was really expecting much from them. So I think just looking at opponents differently and not coming out with the same mentality night in and night out is really what kind of hurt them in the end.
Now, Long Beach State isn't the only inconsistent team in the Big West this year. The whole Big West Conference has been all over the place. Matt, what do you think happened in the conference this year?
Well, I think there was just a lot of parity, a lot of teams that were very similar in talent. I know Coach Munson has said that he feels like this year is better overall top to bottom in terms of talent-wise throughout the whole Big West.
If you look at it, they don't really look like a 3 seed. It's kind of surprising when you think about it. They didn't really play like one all season, yet you look at it, they're not too far behind the top 2 teams in the conference. So in a way, I mean, they really haven't played to their full potential. Now, what is their full potential? I don't really know, because again, they still haven't been able to string together 3 wins in a row. So they haven't really been able to show teams what they can do on a night out basis. They've shown flashes here and there, but I mean, there's at least a little bit of hope right there.
Right. Now, after the crazy ending last week in conference, like you said, Long Beach State jumped to the #3 seed. Now, they will either play Cal Poly, Northridge, or Irvine. Who do they have a better chance of beating?
I'd probably say Cal Poly, only because the game they played here at the Pyramid, it was just one of those games they just came out flat, and they didn't really play like they should have. And then they went on the road and beat them at Cal Poly. So the one, in Long Beach, that you can kind of throw that out the window because it wasn't who they were, and that's just not, you're probably not going to see that same result, especially on a neutral court.
I would just say probably Cal State Northridge. That's the team to me that they looked the most comfortable against this season, and they played a close game over there at Northridge, but when they came back here, they looked like they made all the adjustments, and they really looked like they were really comfortable against that team.
Who would be the key players that we should look out for this week?
On the Long Beach side, I'd go with Gilling and Plater. If they can hit their threes, they've got a shot against just about anybody. And that's the big thing, because when you look at it, every time they throw in the ball to TJ, he's being double, triple teamed, and there isn't a whole lot of spacing on the floor. And that's where those guys come in. They can hit their shots. You can't leave them if they're hitting 3, 4 threes in a half.
I really think it's going to have to be the point guards going a little bit off of what Tracy said, the shooting guards, but I think Larry and Casper are going to have to come up huge, at least facilitating the ball. At least in the first half of the Riverside game, they were really facilitating the ball really well, and it it showed, and they were able to get, and Gilling had 18 points in the first half, and a lot of those were just easy little dump-off passes that he was just wide open and could knock them down. So I think the point guards are really going to come into play.
Right. Now for the million-dollar question. Who do you guys have to win the conference this year?
I'd probably go and say Pacific. They showed when they came here, they can hit threes like nobody's business, and they have so much balance on that team. I believe they only had one guy averaging double figures. Everyone else was between 5 and 9 points. And when you have about 7, 8 guys that you can look to and say, here's the ball, go score it, that's going to help you a lot. And their defense is by far the best in the conference.
Yeah, I would have to say Pacific also. I just think when I saw them here, that was one of the most well-rounded teams I've seen in a while, and I just feel like their defense, and they always say that defense wins championships, their defense is just one of the best that I've seen, and I think the way, just what he said, the having not one guy that does your scoring, I mean, I think that's just another advantage that they carry.
Well, there you have it. The analysts have picked Pacific to win the Big West Championship. We'll look to see what happens this week. I can almost guarantee that it will be a crazy ending in the Big West. Now, we'll go to the women's side and see who will win the Big West Championship this week.